So apparently we're live, but yeah, we'll just keep talking for a sec so I can check the sound is working, because that's always a start. You know, you want
Always
sound
helps,
for
like.
these. You do want sound for
Eh,
these things, don't you? It
Normally, like.
it does help. There's benefits to having sound when you're doing a stream. You know what I mean? So apparently we're
Oh,
live.
yeah, 100%. And we're live. Hello, good evening again. It only feels like yesterday we was doing this.
I wonder why.
Um, good evening. Welcome to our Premiership coverage this evening because we are going really, really posh tonight. And we bring you coverage of the second semi-final of the Premiership playoffs, where the Sheffield Tigers look to pounce on the Belle Vue Aces, who take a 12-point lead to Alwerton this evening. Just the two of us tonight, because Dan Winchester couldn't be asked to come on. Alan's nowhere to be seen, so it's just me and Dill tonight. How are we doing, sir?
Back to the OGs.
In it.
Back to the proper D&D, the proper Dan and Dylan of D&D media.
The only D&D.
Yeah, the
They
only
would say.
D&D. Yeah, that one. Yeah, all good. Should be a good meeting tonight, I think. Finally poised. I don't think Sheffield will be too worried about this deficit, if I'm honest.
No, 100%. And Belle Vue's away form, obviously, not the best.
They would have wanted a couple more, I think. I think they'd have been tentative with 10, a little bit happier with 12, but ideally wanted 14 or 16 just to make it a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, 100%. Just having a quick look on the old Tinternet to see if they've put the tail of the tape thing on here.
Ah, that's been
But
really good, hasn't it?
they haven't.
Ah,
The
let us down.
the not so very nice people, so I'll have to try and find Monday's one. Um, just to keep us back at it. So at Sheffield this year, Sheffield has scored 56-34, 54-36, and 49-41 over the Aces. So nicely poised.
Interestingly, though, the 49-41 was right back at the start of the season. The two bigger margins have been
It,
in recent times.
it was, and that 49-41 win for Sheffield in the Cup at the start of the season ended in a superheat, if I remember right.
Yeah, you might be right. The Alberton track has not been a happy hunting ground the latter half of the season for Sheffield, so they won't be for Belle Vue, sorry, so they won't be sitting and counting their chickens just yet.
And if you're Stuart Dixon, I mean, you're not Stuart Dixon, your hair's not white.
And I'm not Scottish, or am I?
Well, not Alan. If you're Stuart Dixon watching this now, who do you particularly would prefer to make the final?
Um, oh, that's a tough one. I think they're both difficult. They've both got very good home track advantage, so I don't particularly think it matters too much either way. I think the final as neutral, certainly I want to, and I think you're the same. Want to see is Sheffield and Leicester.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Well, yeah, it's good to see the defending Premiership champions in the playoff hunt again, unlike a certain other team.
And we're just looking at the action from Monday. What did you make of the action from Monday? Obviously, Carl Hare struggled just coming back from injury, but did have a better meeting last night at Oxford for Scunny. Josh Pickering had bite problems, and you would expect he'd have been working for tirelessly to get that ready for tonight. So I don't anticipate that being a problem again tonight, to be honest.
In these kind of meetings, you need to have your fair share of lady luck.
Yeah.
Bellevue got all the lady luck in the world on Monday, and Sheffield virtually got none. So I think tonight Sheffield at home have been unstoppable at home in the past couple of months. Definitely, are more than capable of pulling this off if everybody comes to the party.
I think as well there has been a little bit of controversy after. I think it'd be remiss of us to not mention it. There was a post issued about Jack Holder. When you look back in hindsight at that, could that be a Belle Vue fan trying to get into his head and test his mentality a little bit maybe? Because it certainly sounds like it was made to sound worse than it actually was.
It was said it was a Workington supporter?
Possibly, I don't know.
I'm going to say, 'cause obviously Jack's released a statement himself about it. And somebody in the comments on Jack's post who saw the incident has basically confirmed Jack's side of the story is correct.
It is a shame. I know you would be disappointed. Personally, I've heard stories about Jack, but neither of us were there, so we can't pass comment. And it's a different day, he's just had a kid, so the sleep and stuff will be off, and he's just, lost a meeting. He's another rider that wears his heart on his sleeve, and if it's not going well, he's going to be frustrated, isn't
he? He's one of them, like, obviously, when I've seen him, whether it be at Sheffield or Cardiff, he's not the most talkative character. He's quite a quiet kid, but he's never not said no to having a photo with anyone. He's never not said no to having a chat with someone, sign a picture. You get the drift. So, I do feel as though Jack was hardly done by that certain supporter there, and the
fact that they've gone complaining to his sponsors and all of this and that, it feels like, if the kid is specifically a Jack Holder fan, which was stated in the post that went on Facebook, why on earth would you try and ruin that rider's sort of relationships with his sponsors and stuff? You know what I mean? It's been exaggerated a lot, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure, after a defeat like the Tigers had on Monday, the main thing for them boys would be to have a little team huddle, have a little team meeting, discuss the way forward for tonight. And, with no disrespect to the supporters, if you're down like the Tigers was on Monday, you need that team talk to boost your morale and, get you proper G'd up for tonight. I think, that would be your main priority.
So shall we have a look at the two teams then? If I run us through the Tigers, do you fancy taking the Aces? And we'll start with the visitors first.
So for the Belle Vue at Aces, their team manager, the sour man himself, Mark Lemon, at number 6.
We need to start with number 7, Mush.
Number 7, sorry. I'm having a bear already. Just as I got the graphic right this week as well. At number 7, we'll try again. World Under-23 Long Track Champion Jake Mulford. Number 6, Antti Vulas. At number 5, Daniel Bewley. Number 4, Benjamin Cook. At number 3, Jamin Lidsley. At number 2, Norik Budon. And then number 1, Brady Kurtz.
Who would be your Aces man to watch tonight?
Jamin Lidsley. If Belle Vue are to pull this off, they need a big performance from German, and he's not been very good away from the National Speedway Stadium.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think he's a rider that does get a lot of flack from the Belle Vue fans, especially for his away form. But he really did turn up on Monday, and hopefully he can carry that confidence on for an Aces point of view tonight. And if he can, then them 3 and 4 positions are really tough, and that they're vital. And you need them both firing, and I think JMO could lead that charge.
Yeah, 100%.
And the Sheffield lineup is team managed by Simon Stead. Rider at number 7 is Dan Gilks. Number 6 is Jason Edwards. Chris Harris again guests at number 5. Josh Pickering rides at 4. It's Chris Holder at 3. Carl Howarth at 2. And Jack Holder at number 1. Palmer, your Sheffield man to watch.
Chris Harris. Sheffield.
That pained you to say that, didn't it?
To be fair, the Sheffield man to watch was a difficult one for me because there's a few that I would have picked, but I've gone for Harris because Sheffield need him to have a better night than what he had on Monday, and this Sheffield track suits him really well. So could we see Chris Harris to Sheffield in the future if he helps them lift the title? Who knows? Maybe.
I'm going to go for Noddy. I think Chris Holder has really made Alwerton his home. He flies around there, and if he's in tip-top form, he's absolutely nigh on unstoppable. He was fantastic on Monday away from home. I think he'll absolutely back that up at home tonight. And if Sheffield are to pull this back, I think, again, like Jamin Lidsley, Ben Cook, that Chris Holder and Josh Pickering partnership are going to be absolutely vital.
Controversial opinion / question then here for you.
Oh, okay. We do like controversy.
So, obviously, we've both got race sheets, and we've got the averages on. Personally, I would have swapped Chris Harris and Chris Holder around. Would you have done the same?
Potentially. I think, although the Holder and Pickering combination, certainly at home, just seem to work. Chris will ride the inside if needs be, and Pico will go wide, whereas Bomber and Pico both like the outside line, and neither can really gate. So that may be why Chris has stayed at number 3, because he can trap as well.
Yeah, 100%. It was just I just thought we'd give you a bit of controversial opinion. That was all.
As we watched the stream, Carl Howarth and Brady Kurtz being interviewed by Scott Nichols, we obviously saw Carl Howarth in action last night. Didn't end the way he'd have liked it at Oxford, but certainly started well, and he's going to have to start well here tonight and almost replicate what he did last night. He needs a couple of good first rides at least just to get back on level terms on the aggregate.
100%. Yeah, 100%. He started really well last night, as you said, and he tailed off mid-meeting. He can't afford to do that tonight. If he needs to start consistent, he needs to be consistent all the way through.
I want to say lip reading that there, Brady Kurtz has taken 1 and 3 in Heat 1, but I will wait for confirmation of that.
Brady Kurtz looked happy with the 2 captains there. Now, I don't know if that's because Kyle doesn't really smile.
Smiley Kyle.
Or if he's just messed his toss up for Sheffield. For Sheffield.
Toss is just luck of the draw, and it can go either way. The gates will even themselves out. I think Brady took 1 and 3, but we will wait for confirmation of that.
With Sheffield being such a Gators track, winning the toss could prove to be vital.
Which is strange for such a big, wide open track. It doesn't ride as big as it actually is, does it?
And it's not as wide as people make it out to be.
It's certainly wider than some of the tracks, but it doesn't ride like it is. It can, but it very often doesn't.
No, that's it. And especially the straights are quite narrow around here.
Mm,
So
yeah.
and looking at this crowd, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I was there. It looks a proper partisan crowd like it was for the final couple of years ago.
Some of these idiots have got their sombreros on again. I hate those sombreros.
They do make them look a little bit silly, don't they?
But at least they've
And
got to
that's
follow their
the
team. Fair play.
well, unlike one member of Some Shale that couldn't even join his own commentating team last night because he had to walk the dog.
Bellevue won the toss and took 1 and 3 as we thought.
And Jessup's on the telly.
Oh, great.
I hope nobody else saw that, otherwise our group chat's going to be absolutely crazy.
I love that. Jessup's gone to the away leg to watch, but didn't go to the home leg.
I know, you'd just go to both if you could, wouldn't you?
Are you Alan McNally in disguise? No
That's
Alan
like,
tonight either. We must
go on.
point that out that there is no Alan tonight. He's got Boys Brigade or something.
Oh, and he's back there again on the telly. We'll try and get a picture of him again if they come round, just so we can make fun of the young man.
And you've obviously got to
in
put
a
up with
group
Jessup
chat.
tomorrow night at Scunny when Edinburgh come down in the second leg of the... Is it the BSN series?
Yeah, it's a BSS series. I don't really have to put up with him. He just gets trapped away in a little box, and I'm in the open air in the cold.
But who's going to be the warmer of the two of you tomorrow?
Well, in that hut that they're in, there's warm, and then there's warm,
Oh, okay.
and it's yeah. If it starts to get warm in there, it gets unbearably warm. So you'd probably be happier stood outside freezing your nuts off.
Pico coming round there, really trying to G the fans up, and that this could be vital for Sheffield. The home crowd. You can't understate how important that is in a meeting like this.
No, and I know they get a bit of stick every now and again, but the
The Barmy
Bentu
Army,
Barmy Army,
they're
as
fantastic.
they call themselves, they are brilliant at creating an atmosphere, and that's what this is. What Speedway needs. Speedway needs an atmosphere. You know, I mean, but you go to a lot of Speedway tracks, and there's more atmosphere in a morgue.
Yeah, they do really create an atmosphere. Hopefully, Jack Holder will do all his talking on the track tonight as well, and silence up any doubters and haters and stuff as well. And I think he's, it's a bit like Chris. If you throw adversity his way, he will bounce back by just going out to prove you wrong.
Oh, 100%.
What's the aggregate score again? 51-39 to Belle Vue.
That is correct, Amundo.
Just sorting out my programme now.
For a boy.
Does help, doesn't it?
Don't forget, if you are watching on Discovery Plus, there is the hashtag SheBelle. I don't know why you'd want to use it, but you could go on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, do that. Ask some questions and they won't ask them on the telly box.
Or you can get in our comments box and ask us questions and we will answer them.
Yeah, we will, yeah.
And what's the golden rule, Palmer?
If you are watching, don't be afraid to join us in the comments. We only bite if you bring us cake.
I'd kill for some cake right now. I would.
You know, so would I.
And,
Might have to get some for a pre-speedway treat tomorrow.
Yeah. Our next watch along is set. If, as expected, the final is next Monday and Thursday, which we think it will be.
It's scheduled to be that on Discovery Plus.
And if it is, then we will be covering, hopefully, both legs of that. We've also got Poole next Wednesday, or Oxford and Poole next Wednesday. We won't have the second leg of that because it's a Friday and I'm not around.
neither of us are that Friday.
No, we're not. You're away, ain't you? So there won't be one for that, but we'll be both watching on
So
eagerly. And I think so. After Thursday, I think that's us done for the season, unless of like rain-offs for the final or anything like that. And to be honest, the weather for Monday doesn't look great anywhere. To be fair,
but it's gonna be one of them, innit? Hopefully hopefully everything will be all right.
let's hope so. Because if it gets pushed back to the following Monday, I get the feeling the Brummies will push back their meeting again, and the fans will not be happy with that.
Mm.
And sometimes you just can't win this time of the year, can you? A lot of riders are out of their competitions.
No,
but
you can't.
Fans will want to watch these style of meetings.
Well, that's it, and as we will undoubtedly see tonight, these kind of meetings always tend to bring out a good crowd as well.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I personally, I love going to playoff meetings no matter where they're at.
Yeah.
It's even better if you get to go as a neutral.
And the atmosphere as well, it's always heightened. I remember the last one at Wolves was really cool. Obviously, it was a little bit more compact there. But it's a little bit similar to this actually, although you do have the bend 3 and 4 as well here, whereas at Wolves you only had the home straight. But being a little bit more packed in and compact, it really does feel like every bit the atmosphere you'd expect.
I mean, I went to the final between Sheffield and Belle Vue a couple of years ago. The atmosphere there was probably better than your normal Cardiff atmosphere. It was so loud. They could even hear. So half a mile away from the speedway, there's a Morrison's. And I'd walked from the track to the Morrison's after the 8:15, sulking because Belle Vue's won. And the man said, "Have you been at the speedway?" I'm like, "Yeah," dressed in like my Sheffield coat and team wear and everything.
Bucketed away.
He's like, "Have you been to the speedway?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "We could hear you from here."
And there is a different feeling, and there was definitely a different feeling when it's your team in it, or just the playoffs, the final, because it's the entire season comes to this, and the realisation it's a very long winter. 6 months feels like so much longer.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, to be fair, I haven't done as many meetings this year as I normally would.
Yeah.
But I mean, it feels weird. I've only been to Sheffield once this term.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it is starting to hit that it could all be over very, very soon. And if Scunny don't get their act together tomorrow, it could be my last go-to meeting tomorrow.
Until March, April time.
But Easter's a lot later this year. I think we could potentially be looking at like a May sort of start time.
The riders are now pushing off for Heat 1. It'll be normal roles tonight. I'll be doing the lineups and result for each heat. Palm will be doing the excellent commentary as per. We won't have Mr. Winchester on trying to do everything, but he was a good addition last night. I'll give him credit.
A little weather update. Looking at that camera angle, it looks like it might be starting to split with rain.
Could be the light, I think, maybe. I don't think it's rain. I think it might be the reflection off the light. Track looks grippy. Yeah. They've definitely set an outside line up. You can tell Bomber and Pickering are both in the meeting, can't you? This is vital. Sheffield need a heat advantage early on.
Yes, 100%.
If Belle Vue were to get a 5-1 here, you'd have to argue that, they're pretty much, on their way. And the lineup for heat number 1, going off the inside gate in yellow for the Aces, Norwich Bladorn, gate 2 in blue for Sheffield, Carl Howarth, gate 3 in white for the Aces, the skipper Brady Kurtz, and off the outside in red is the Grand Prix start Jack Holder for the Tigers. Jack doing his little pre-race ritual there, geeing himself up, just looking upwards and almost shouting to himself. And different riders have different rituals, don't they? I know Tofty, you'll have probably seen this as well, likes to shout and almost gee himself up that way.
Yeah, and I remember I was doing a start marshalling role for I think it was Scunny versus Peterborough, and Peterborough had Richie Wallen as a guest, and he would always shout at himself just before he was getting ready to pull the clutch in and do the revvy thing.
Yeah.
Start Marshall Kev walks away then for heat number 1. Away we go. It's a very good start there off the inside gate for Kyle Howarth, but it's Brady Kurtz that comes round the outside of him to take the lead. So it is Kurtz followed by Howarth, followed by Jack Holder with Noah Bladon at the back. This is not the start Sheffield Tigers wanted, and Brady Kurtz looks to be extending his lead over Kyle Howarth at the minute. And if anything, Noah Bladon's starting to catch up Jack Holder, which is not what the Tigers wanted. As Dylan said earlier, the Tigers promotion and track prep team have prepared this track for an outside line, and everybody just seems to be using the inside, barring Brady Kurtz. Kyle Howarth started to realise there's an outside line there, and one mistake for Jack Holder here. Noah Bladon is going to be through. He is on the rear end of Jack Holder, may we say. We've got one lap left to go though. Brady Kurtz, he's checked out. He can go get himself hot dog, burgers, chips, curry sauce, a lot, and a can of drink. He's that far in front. But the big battle is for third place here. Jack Holder, Noah Bladon. I think Jack's just about done enough to maintain that third place. Yes, he has.
Jack Holder did not look very quick there, to be honest. And there was a reason Brady took 1 and 3. He just saw something off 3 liked and he made it work.
And another thing regarding Jack, which may have affected him, his mechanic has left him as well.
Yeah, so the result of Heat 1 was a win for the rider in white, Brady Kurtz. Second in blue, Carl Howarth, and third in red, Jack Holder. Points on the night, 3 apiece. The aggregate score 42-54. Belle Vue maintained that 12-point lead, and that would have been one that Steady was targeting for a strong start for the Tigers, and it didn't quite materialise.
No, it didn't. Brady, he just, Kyle originally made the best gate, but got to the first turn, Brady was there, and maybe that change of mechanic for Jack's not done him any favours.
This second race here is absolutely vital.
It is massive.
I almost feel like this is a need for a 5-1 for Sheffield.
Jake Mulford's not brilliant around Sheffield, but he is good around the bigger tracks. I don't know if Anti-Viewlass has ever been here. Jason Edwards is normally pretty good in Heat 2 around this place anyway. And Jukesy needs a massive night tonight.
And we obviously watched Dan last night guesting for Oxford. Didn't start great, ended up on his bum in his first one, but did end with a really good win. And you're only as good as your last ride, as they always say. So hopefully he can carry on that form from a Sheffield point of view.
Oh, 100%. Jukesy there though on the telebox doing a practice start.
I don't know if I'd be able to control my nerves. I'd be straight through these tapes, I think.
I do, in these sort of meetings, I do wonder what is going through the minds of these riders.
The full lineup of Heat number 2 then, going off the inside gate in red for the Tigers, Jason Edwards, gate 2 in white for the Aces, Anti-Viewlass, gate 3 in blue, the Sheffield Rising Star Dan Gilks, and off the outside in yellow, the Belle Vue Rising Star Jake Mulford. Interestingly, this Belle Vue pairing were not the pairing that started the season with the Aces at reserve, with obviously Connor Mountain being released and replaced by Tej Ishki, who then went and got injured. Anti-Viewlass replaced him, and Jake Mulford replaced Connor Bailey, who decided to retire.
Yeah, 100%. And these reserve pairings for Belle Vue have been pretty dominant around the home circuit of the NSS.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't like to be the mind of any of these boys at the moment.
As a fan, you get quite nervous watching when it's your own team, so God knows how these boys are feeling.
You should have seen me last night. Tapes rise anyway for Heat number 2. Away we go. It's Anti-Viewlass that gets the start there, followed by Dan Jukes. Jukes is now going round the outside of Viewlass, and Viewlass blocks the line. Perfect there. Great ride from Anti-Viewlass, and now Jukes looks to come up the inside of Viewlass. Edwards there in third with Mulford towards the rear of the field. So the big battle is for first and second. Viewlass just holding off Dan Jokes here, and this again is not what the Sheffield Tigers needed. The Tigers needed a heat advantage here because this race is as early as Heat 2. This is where the meeting could be won or lost for either team. And Jokes is always looking to go around the outside. He's closing in on Anti-Vuelas here. As Vuelas now tries to go wider. Jokesy tries to run up the inside. We've got one lap left then. And Anti-Vuelas, for saying it's normally a little bit crap round here, is proving us all wrong. And at this point now, he's virtually winning at a canter through no lack of effort from Dan Jokes either. But not what the Tigers wanted.
That's not enough. It's not enough for Sheffield. They now need to make up 12 points with 13 races to go. And this is, like you've just said, it's not the start they needed at all. Jelksy looked the quicker of the two up front there, to be fair, but at this early stage we all know obviously it's difficult to pass. They have set up the track for an outside line, but it's not quite there yet. And the result of heat number 2 is a win for the rider in white, Anti-Vuelas. Second in blue, Dan Jokes. And third in red, Jason Edwards. Points divided on the night 6 apiece, and the progressive aggregate score 45-57. I thought Jelksy was just going to get over the top of him here, and then went a little bit too mid-track in that first turn, and Anti found the grip down a bit lower.
Dan just didn't want to get kicked off his bike by Vuelas.
he has a erratic riding style, doesn't he?
Don't he just?
And we highlighted these two pairings in our build-up. You've got to feel now Sheffield need a 5-1 from Pico and Noddy.
Massive race.
Jilksy was ahead there, but there was just a little bit more grip down low than Jilksy's sort of mid-track wider line.
Yeah, 100%.
The concern for Sheffield will be that Jason Edwards didn't look very fast.
He didn't. And, hopefully the Tigers can pull it around. There's not a lot of time left, but there's time. And while there's time, I mean, we've seen Sheffield overturn 18 and 20 point deficits.
Was it an 18 point deficit they overturned in the final last year?
Yeah.
An interesting stat, actually, that was on the preview earlier. The only team to ever turn over a 10-plus deficit in the semi-final was when Wolverhampton overturned 12 points against Poole in 2016 in the semi, which they went on to win.
That's a very distant memory, that now. I barely
really
remember last night, never mind 2016.
Yeah, the line-up for heat number 3 going off the inside gate in white, Jamon Lindsay. Gate 2 in blue, Josh Pickering. Gate 3 in yellow, Ben Cook. And off the outside in red is Chris Holder. Yeah, that was on the preview from the British Speedway website earlier. But Sheffield have overturned a bigger gap in a final, but nobody's ever overturned a 12-point deficit in a semi-final, barring Wolves that year. Just thought that was a nice little
tonight,
stat.
perhaps.
Yeah, this could only be the second team to do it in semi-final history, but they'd have wanted a better start than this. I think that's fair to say.
Hopefully, this is if you're a Sheffield fan watching, of course. Hopefully, this is the starting point.
Was that Damien Bates having a chin wag with Steady?
That it was.
And each race that goes, Belle Vue will be happier.
Oh, 100%. The Tigers need to hit 3-5-1s really to make it a bit more...
steady the nerves. They need to steady the nerves.
And with a guy like Chris Holder, who's very, very experienced in high-pressure situations, he should be all right as the tapes rise for Heat 3. Away we go. And it's Jamon Lindsay that hits the front with Pico there in second, but Ben Cook looks to come up the inside there. Oh, that could have been carnage. And I think Chris Holder, I don't know where the bloody hell he's going, but this will please James Jessup, unfortunately, as the Belle Vue Aces are on a 4-2. And Pico chases down Jamon Lindsay there in the second position, and Chris Holder is nowhere near Ben Cook, and unfortunately this could look like the end of Sheffield's season if this keeps up. I mean, there's slow starts, but these boys need more than a 12-point win, really. As we go into the third lap, German Lindsay looks really good and really quick. Um, and obviously he had a guest booking here earlier in the month for Ipswich in the Knockout Cup final, where he, I believe, he scored 7. I could be very wrong there, and using that experience well here. And Chris Holder doesn't look very happy.
That was one of them. Pico was really hard on Ben Cook down that back straight, and in turn that pushed Ben Cook into Noddy's path, and ultimately Chris Holder was the one who lost out there. And Sheffield are definitely feeling the pressure here early on.
Yeah.
And I'd expect Belle Vue may bring in Antivulas in Heat 4 for Jake Mulford and try and extend the lead on the night. Yeah. The score of heat number 3 was won by the rider in white, Jamin Lidsey, second in blue Josh Pickering, and crucially third in yellow Ben Cook. Puts the Aces ahead on the night, 10 points to 8, and the aggregate score moves on to 47 for Sheffield, 61 for Belle Vue. Belle Vue are 29 points away.
Only 7 more points to go, Belle Vue, then you can go back to being crap. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see now why Brady Kurtz picked 1 and 3.
They are working.
2 and 4 have been a bit crap.
Noddy completely missed that, spun up, hit the fence actually. And Pico gets put under pressure from Ben, chops his nose off here, which puts Ben out of shape and screws up Chris Holder's race in the process.
100%, and that was an almost perfect ride, that from German Lidsey.
I'd imagine that was quite quick, to be honest, although that was a bad attempt of a wheelie.
It wasn't really good. And we've got a minute.
And that Dan Winchester, in yellow.
Dan Winchester, I am calling you out. How dare you nip my phrase? If you can go for a burger, that's my phrase and nobody else's.
Come off the air, will come off the bomber maybe? He needs to. They need someone to turn it on, and as expected, Antivulas replaces Jack Mulford in yellow.
Yeah, he does. And
Bomber's got the helmet cam on.
German Lidsey was 0.2 seconds slower than Brady Kurtz in Heat 1.
What gate's Bomber off here?
If my programme's right, 4.
He needs to make that work, and let's be honest, he's not the most prolific of gators.
No, but there is an outside line developing.
He's starting
dirt around the outside. Who else would you rather have at Sheffield blasting round the boards?
The line-up of heat number 4 then. Reserve change off gate number 1 in yellow is Antivulas. Gate 2 in blue, Dan Gilks. Looked quick first time out, but just couldn't get past. Gate 3 in white is Dan Bewley, and off the outside in red is the guest for the Tigers, Chris Bomber Harris. And Bomber does usually turn up in the playoffs.
Normally.
Apart from 2017 for Wolves in the second leg, that still hurts.
But it's one of them. I would also like to congratulate Eurosport, because Antivulas's picture is a 2024 one and everybody else's is last year, so well done to them for using one up-to-date picture.
Bomber's still got his Leicester suit on in that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
If Eurosport are listening somehow and you need some graphics guys, I know a brand.
A media partnership.
So heat number 4 then, riders getting themselves lined up. Big start, Marshall Kev walks away. And the tapes rise, away we go. Jilks is on his bottom. Potentially taken down by Vulas, I feel there.
Be all four. Vulas comes straight across him. That will be, although the red lights did take a while to come on then. But that should be all 4.
That gives Chris Harris another chance, because that start from him was absolutely bloody abysmal.
That should be all four back unless we've got a hero ref that wants to make it all about them.
I mean, we've got Mick Bates, but at least we haven't got the Trunchbull tonight.
The dreaded Trunch.
I wouldn't want her as a head teacher at my school. I couldn't deal with her putting me in the chokey.
Shout out to Matilda the musical and Matilda the film.
Yeah, that.
These lot look a happy bunch.
Them lot, not so much.
Watch this again. Jilks had made a really good start actually. Anti-Vulas does come straight across. Yeah, cleans him out. There's only one decision to be made there.
If that had been anywhere else on the track,
Vulas had
would have
gone
gone
for that, yeah. Yeah, it's
but
clear.
it's all down to
To be fair, there could be an argument. They weren't even in the first turn. Vulas just goes straight across his line. The red lights do come straight on though. I'd have possibly excluded Anti-Vulas for that. I don't think there's bunching. They've not got far enough to have bunched. He just goes straight across his line.
And everybody here in the crowd looking back up at the TV screens, they've got it all with them.
Oh, is that what they're looking at?
Yeah.
Why has this fella got a cap on with a beanie over the top? Does he realise how silly he looks?
Because he's a Belle Vue supporter. And that's all I'll say about that. Mark Lemon's smiling, so we all need to run away.
Let's hope that they screw it up and he's not smiling by the end of the night. He'll be absolutely fuming.
Oh, I thought he was going to say something different there for a second as soon as I heard that accent. Fun times. Rest in peace, Alan. You're not dead, but rest in peace.
I'd assume it's all four back because Lemon's not fuming, so Anti's not being excluded. And if there
I
was
don't know. He's gone from being smiling to having his resting bitch face.
Jack Alder's trying out to check with Steady on Jilk, so he looks alright, but he's holding his right arm. Straight back to his start gate to check his rut. Typical Speedway rider. He's had a few tumbles recently. He was on his bum last night as well.
But he had two last night, didn't he? Or was it one?
One.
I can't remember.
His first race, he was on his bum.
Oh yeah, because he wanted to blame Simon, didn't he?
Yeah.
Remember now.
Yeah.
And in the background, in the grey jacket, former Scunthorpe Clerk of the Course, Andy Scotney. Just a little bit of useless information for you there.
Jilks is definitely tactically taking his time to get back to give his mechanic some time to sort his bike out.
Jack Alder's close to a young supporter. I wonder if he'll ask for his autograph.
It's bad when you see posts like that, isn't it? Because it brings the sport into disrepute, and obviously now it does sound like it was exaggerated. And are you a real supporter if you're making up stuff like that?
I mean, you just wouldn't, would you?
No, it's not ideal, and especially for your child's favourite rider, to deliberately target them as well, and there's no need for that.
I mean, I've always thought, but I'm going to come out and say this now. The pits after a meeting should only be open after both teams have sort of had a after meeting team chat.
Yeah.
Especially in a meeting like that. So any fans that want to go see the riders, absolutely, you pay your wage, you pay the riders' wages. Sorry, you almost have a bit of a right to go and have a chat with them. Just do it after the meeting and after they've had a team talk.
Or just be sensible and do it before the meeting when the pits at every track are open until about 10 to 7ish before the bikes start to warm up.
Or that.
I know it's not easy for everyone to get there at 6:30 or whatever when the gates open, but if you can get there early and see them beforehand, because then there's no chance of any miscommunication, is there?
No, exactly. Phil Morris is just saying to Dan Jokes' dad that bike looks absolutely fine.
Dirty, look. These pits are so tight, it's unbelievable.
They're tiny. You get about 1 square foot to put your bike. and that's
It
it.
is absolutely ridiculous, and I bet it's quite intimidating to be an away rider with the home riders all round the outside and the away riders in the middle.
Oh, I can imagine.
And get this cameraman out of the way.
The best thing that could happen at Sheffield is they relocate the pits and have
Yeah,
it round the back where the training track used to be.
yeah.
Training track's still there, funnily enough.
The same four riders off the same four gates. Referee Mick Masturbates decided that it was going to be all full back. Correct decision, I think.
Yeah, yeah, as we say, any other place of the track View last would have gone, but
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And as you said in real
and
time, it gives Bomber another chance because that was a shocking gate.
he, he needs to make this, otherwise, Bellevue they may as well just be virtually there.
Another heat advantage here for Belle Vue would certainly be panic stations for Sheffield. I don't think that's an exaggeration. Is that Proctor there on the spanners for
That's,
Pico?
that is Mr. Tyrone Proctor. Start Marshall Kev walks away there for heat number 10. Away we go to fairly even start, but it's both the Aces boys that get there first. Now, what could Chris Harris do in the red helmet colour? Not a lot, because both the Aces have extended their lead as it stands at the current point of time. So Dan Bewley is then that has the lead. Now, Bomber looking to come round the outside there of Anti Vulas. Can Bomber produce one of his trademark playoff moves on Vulas? Yes, he can.
Whoa!
Great move there for Chris Harris. The problem for the Tigers is Dan Dukes is still stuck in Rotherham at the moment.
Bomber's
But
putting pressure on there.
I can't see Bomber pressurising Dan Bewley at this point, unless Dan Bewley, of course, has a very untimely, he says, engine failure with his fingers crossed that we've got with one lap left to go. Bomber's going round the outside. He's trying to catch up to Bewley, and one slight mistake for Bewley. Bomber will be there. There's a Bomber now looks to go round the outside
Too
one last
wide.
time. It's not quite worked out, and it's a Belle Vue 4-2.
That was not what they needed. That
Uh,
was not what Sheffield needed.
it wasn't. If Sheffield could actually, never mind, produce a heat advantage, if they could start like actually producing heat winners, that would be great. Thanks.
And Sheffield do have the run of the favoured 1 and 3 in this second part of the meeting. Just to clarify, that was heat 4, not heat 10, which Palmer said off the line.
I do apologise.
Getting ahead of ourselves.
I'm
And
just trying to put us out of our misery.
the result of heat 4 was a win for the rider in white Dan Bewley, second in red Chris Harris, and third in yellow Anti Vulas. Makes the progressive score on the night 10-14, and the aggregate score 49-65. 16-point gap now with 11 to go. It's almost do or die now, I feel. And Vulas did exactly what he needed to there. He out-trapped Bomber, held him up for a lap and a bit, which just gave Bewley the chance to get away. Bomber looked quick, but he was held up a little bit longer than he'd have liked.
Yeah. That pass from Bomber happened a lap earlier, then
He'd have got
it
Bewley,
could
I
have
think.
been. Yeah. And just got Bomber's helmet cam on there. Oh my god, Anti Vulas went to bend without trying to kill someone. What a boy!
And you've got to say Sheffield need a 5. Nothing other than a 5-1 in Heat 5 will be good enough for Sheffield.
I mean, they could do with a few, to be honest.
They need to get it back level
But
on the night before they can start attacking that aggregate lead.
Yeah, interesting times, and yeah, Sheffield being no pushovers. Hello, Charlotte. You are looking lovely this evening. Sorry. I should have said that on stream. I do apologise.
I think we're going to go on an ad break, so should we take a quick breather while
Let's
Abby talks
let's
to us?
let's take 5. We're back. Hi, hello. So we've just had a quick 5 minutes. Well, you spoke a quick 5 minutes, took advantage of nature, and had a discussion about something. Very, very exciting times.
It's do or die now for Sheffield. They need to take advantage of 1 and 3. There's no two ways about it.
100%.
And the lineup of heat number 5, we're a third of the way through this meeting after this one. Going off the inside in red is Chris Holder. Gate 2 in yellow, Norwich Blue Dawn. Gate 3 in blue is Josh Pickering. And off the outside in white is Brady Kurtz. Impressive winner first time out, Brady.
Yeah, it was. He going off his own chosen gate. He made the perfect start and away he was gone. And this Holder Pickering combination here, though, they need to outget both the aces here.
And that outside line has started to come, as Bomber just showed. It's just getting on it. We said Chris Holder was nigh unbeatable round here, and he goes and runs a last in his first one.
Jinxed it.
We've done it now, haven't we?
Hopefully we can jinx it. Brady Kurtz is crap. Here we go.
Brady
fair
Kurtz,
is fair and all that.
Brady Kurtz, world champion. Now he goes and has an engine failure.
Don't jinx that. You know Jessup sometimes listens to this. So, start Marshall Kev walks away then for heat number 5. Away we go. It's a very, very good start for the inside there for Chris Holder, who now he needs to block out the challenge of Brady Kurtz. And Pico looks to come to the inside there of Kurtz. It's very close, but now Kurtz just about gets to the front of Josh Pickering. Chris Holder, he's there in the front and he's been chased down now by Brady Kurtz. This is a bit better for the Tigers, but the Tigers needed 5-1s. Needed 5-1s, not 4-2s, 5-1s. And unless something can happen to Kurtz, it ain't happening, because Pickering and Norwich Blue Dawn, they're both stuck in somewhere like Rotherham or somewhere near Sheffield like that. And these two boys at the front, Chris Holder and Brady Kurtz, they're going hammer and tongue, and Kurtz coming up the inside of Holder. Holder goes wide as we go into the last lap. Holder just about has the lead still. Great ride there from Chris Holder. Josh Pickering's almost settled down now in the third place position as they come down the back straight and turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Finally, it's only took 5 races, but finally Sheffield got a heat win.
I don't think it's enough, I'll be honest. And Josh Pickering again looks crap.
Just saving his best form for Scunthorpe tomorrow for his championship
Probably,
finale.
yeah, probably. It's a race win, it gets them back to within 2 on the night, but it's still 14 down on aggregate, and there's only 10 races left to claw it back. It's 5-1 saloon now. You've got nothing else will do for the next couple. The result of heat number 5 was a win for the rider in red, Chris Holder. Second in white, Brady Kurtz. And third in blue, Josh Pickering. Makes the score on the night 14-16, and the aggregate score 53-67. Chris made a brilliant start and forces Brady right out wide. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Pico was there briefly, but just not hard enough on Brady.
No, it wasn't. And, it wasn't great for Pico, that one.
That was a plan, that was, weren't it? Holder and Pico had planned that out.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Brady looked quicker than Noddy, though.
He did. But Noddy just held the right line and with the fence there, boys. Don't hit it again.
That got a bit closer than Brady would have liked.
Just a tad.
And I'd imagine if it were to be Belle Vue through, Belle Vue would get the first leg at home on Monday, with that being their traditional race night.
I mean, it works because Leicester's traditional night's a Thursday, innit?
Yeah. Whereas both of these race nights are a Thursday, aren't they? So, Antiview last retains his place in this one.
Interesting move. Jack Holder massively needs to
He's
come to
got
the
to win.
party
He
tonight.
needs to win this. There's no other way of saying it. And Belle Vue are back on the favoured gates.
Yeah, massive ride needed here by Kyle Howarth as well. On a track where he's been for the past 8 years, Kyle Howarth should not be this crap.
Don't mince your words, me old fruit. Say it as it is.
You know how I was being very nice and polite there.
The line-up for heat number 6 going off the inside gate in white for the Aces. Winner first time out, Dan Bewley. Gate 2 in red for the Tigers. Third place in his first one, quite uncharacteristically, Jack Holder. Gate 3 in yellow is Anti-Vulas. 4 points so far, including a massive heat 2 win. And off the outside in blue is Kyle Howarth, who was second in heat 1 and looked to have had some speed, to be honest. So he'll be hoping to build on that.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, Dan. Kicking bits of dirt tends to flatten it, mate.
This it's 5-1 or bust, I feel here.
I can't disagree with that.
They need to get into the lead on the night before they can at least think about challenging the aggregate lead. That each race that passes that aggregate lead stays at 16 now, and if that stays there, Belle Vue are gonna coast there before the interval. 14 now.
But you know, we're not very good at maths here at Shoot Some Shale.
That's why we're graphic designers. Dan Bewley's got to be pushing this 2 minutes close.
I'd just excluded him anyway because he's ginger. So, Start Marshal Kev walks away for heat number 6, and away we go. Kyle Howarth, what a start that is off gate number 4, and Jack Holder is almost there with him, but it's a 3-all situation. This is not what the Tigers wanted, as Dan Bewley, he's gone, he's away, he's gone back to Manchester. He's that far ahead of Kyle Howarth in the second place position. Jack Holder having a really uncharacteristic night here, 2 third places as it stands at the moment. And Anti-Vulas, he's back in Rotherham the other way because he's about 2 miles, or 200 miles behind, sorry. But yeah, Dan Bewley, he's out there, he's chipped out, he can go get himself a bag of chips because, yeah, no one's catching him at the minute. Jack needed to out-trap Dan there, needed to do it, and he hasn't done it. And after this, Belle Vue will just be 20 race points away from making the final. And unless Sheffield can produce a Workington-style comeback in 2018, their hopes of retaining the title are all but gone now.
Jack and Carl seem to be racing each other.
Well, they had to put some entertainment on.
Jack made the worst possible gate. He's bottled it, innit? There's no other way of saying it.
Is it that, or is it his unfamiliar equipment? Or there's James Jessup just pointing at somebody like a weirdo, because he is a weirdo. He's not very normal, is he?
The result of heat number 6 was a win for the Rotherham White. Dan Bewley, second in blue, Kyle Howarth, and third in red, Jack Holder. Maintains Belle Vue's 2-point lead on the night at 17-19, and the aggregate score now sits at 56-70 with heat number 7 coming up shortly. Oh God, what did they do here? You got one of the reserves out who didn't look very good in his first one, to be honest.
You just look down the risk card. You can't see now
Options are
anywhere.
Options are running out.
You can't see where Sheffield are even going to get in a heat advantage.
No. And everyone was rubbing their hands together, me and you included, thinking, Sheffield were shooing for the final. A lot of people, including us, probably sleeping on Belle Vue a bit.
Yeah, 100%. So what we're saying, we're all Lions next week.
Well, I want Leicester to win anyway, I'm being honest. They're the Midlands team out of the playoff teams, so as soon as
100%.
Leicester went through, I wanted Leicester to win, but that won't impact our commentary on Monday. They'll still be neutral.
Of course.
Bomber needs to make one work.
He does.
We keep saying this. There's no other way of putting it. I can't see a heat advantage coming from here. I'll be honest.
No.
Heat number 7, going off the inside gate in red for the Tigers, Chris Harris. Gate 2 in white, very impressive winner in his first one, Jamin Lindsay. Gate 3 in blue is Jason Edwards, and off the outside in yellow, Ben Cook. Bomber needs to win, and any points for Jason here, I think, with all due respect, will be a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even really see a Sheffield 4-2 here, which will level it on the night.
Let's have an M&M for this
I
one,
think
shall
Jack also needs to borrow Chris's bicycles. Sour Lemon, his team are winning and he still looks more sour than a lime.
He's done all his smiling already.
You sure that's not Rob Godfrey in disguise?
And we've both made no secret we've got a lot of time for Jace. I'd love nothing more than for him to turn up and prove us both wrong here.
Yeah, he's certainly one of the nicest guys in Speedway I've met. And yeah, you know, he's one of them, even though he doesn't ride for our teams, he's one of them you do want to see him do well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sheffield back on the favoured 1 and 3. Can they make it count?
Well, we'll soon find out as the tapes has risen for heat number 7. Bomber's got there just about, and Ben Cook looks like he's almost packing up at the back, but he's Bomber's out there in front. Jam Jar's there in second place. Jason Edwards holding a vital third place, but Cook now up the inside of Edwards. Cook's done him. It's a 3-all now, and Jason looks like having bike problems there as he comes round turns 1 and 2. Excuse me there, and Cook goes wide, and Edwards, keeps. As Edwards got there, he's very, very, very close between Ben Cook and Jason Edwards now for third place. Chris Harris, as far as I know, he's checked out his way and gone, and Jamin Lids is very, very settled there in second half. Looking at these pictures now, Ben Cook's very settled there in third place. There's no lack of effort from Jason Edwards in this one, but maybe inexperience costed him a little bit there. But well done, Sheffield, for providing a race winner. Well done. Have a consolation prize.
The worry for everybody, the start of the season, was Sheffield's reserves were too weak, and it's proving, to be honest.
It's proven at the wrong time of season.
I don't think they've been overly impressive all year, but it's definitely proving now. You've got Antivulas bombing out, picking up seconds and thirds, and winning Heat 2, and ultimately the Sheffield pair are on. The result of Heat 7 was a win for the rider in red, Chris Harris, second in white, Jamin Lindsay, and third in yellow, Ben Cook. Brilliant gate by Bomber, you don't say that very often, do you?
No, yeah, Bomber just got there and that was that.
Jace was in no man's land.
100%.
And
again, with
Sheffield need a 5-1 in Heat 8. There's nothing else will do. And to be fair, Jilksy looked quick in his first one, and Carl's looked quick. Noah Bladorn's not looked overly impressive, neither has Jake Mulford for the one time we've seen him, but knowing Speedway, Noah Bladorn will pop out with a blinder and win this.
He's off gate 4, which isn't really a favoured gate at the moment.
It's 5-1 up, but I feel like if it's anything other than a Sheffield 5-1, they may as well pack up and go out.
Sheffield need 5-5-1s. It's as simple as that.
Abby's gone to nope, she's ignoring Jack and gone straight to steady.
Understandable. I can't imagine Jack will be in the best of moods at the moment. With if he don't up his game, a low pay packet coming.
Yeah, and to be fair, you know, we can't even say that Sheffield screwed it up in the first leg because they're screwing it up more here. They looked more competitive in the first leg, to be honest.
It's almost like Scunthorpe and Oxford again, innit?
Yeah.
Where it's it's kind of lost at home.
Yeah.
Abby looks too happy.
And we're going on another break. Oh my god. Should
Year
we
of sport for you, innit?
should we take a quick breather?
Go on then, let's take 5. And we're back after another much needed break. As yeah, Sheffield need 5-1s now. There's no point just winning races and getting a 4-2 here and there. They need 5-1s.
Those M&Ms were really nice. Not the singer sort, the sweetie sort.
Oh, M&Ms.
Crispy ones.
It's my payday tomorrow. I can afford some then.
Big mortar share bag as well, but I just see that as a challenge, to be honest.
Yeah, we love a good chocolate share bag.
To ourselves, obviously.
Oh, of course. Big team talk going on here with the holders and Mr. Simonstead. For the aces, however, they're all having a team huddle. And Anthony Vula still looks like a weirdo.
That fella from Scunny in the background there looks like a Wish version of Nigel Toller.
Maybe he is. Got it now, just explaining to us that there is shale and ruts on the track, and the rider will want to go from probably the deepest rut, as that will give the best, fastest way to turn one.
For me,
As we
Vula
see-
Shield should have gone for that. I don't think there's an argument for all four, I ain't gonna lie to you. Just cleaned him out.
Yeah, I can't disagree to that.
I think the refs had a mare there, to be honest with you.
Is it Trunchbull in disguise?
Oh, you Trunchbull. Scotty's got black trainers on, stop the world!
It's seen sense. So, yes, Scott, if you follow that rut, you go to the first bend. That's normally how it works, mate.
Or you come to the view last wiping out line. One of the two.
What are the other?
Absolutely all the pressure in the world on the Sheffield captain's shoulders in Heat 8 here.
And we've seen a lot of Kyle Howarth this year. He's good at bottling things.
Oh, God.
Whether that be races or his own tiers, he's good at bottling.
I have fond memories of Kyle. He had Wolves to a league title and was always solid around there, but never really progressed since, unfortunately. The lineup of Heat 8, going off the inside gate in blue, the rising star for the Tigers, Dan Gilks. Gate 2 in yellow, out for his second ride of the night, is Jake Mulford. Gate 3 in red is the Tigers captain, Carl Howarth, two solid second places so far. And off the outside in white, has he failed to score yet? I think he's failed to score. Norwich Bladorn.
Yeah, it's got nil point if you're French, or if you're from Yorkshire, doubt, or if you're from anywhere else in the country.
Sod all.
Naff all.
And on paper, Sheffield are stronger, but speedway races aren't done on paper, so Norwich Bladorn will probably pop out and win this because logic.
Put some respect on Jake Mulford's name.
He did pop out and win. Was it this one he popped out and won on Monday? Heat 8?
I
I think it might have been.
I think
it might have been, yeah.
Oh, massive race risk for Mr. Howarth. Don't be crap. And if he is, I'm going to send him a little message.
Pushing his luck now. Start Marshall getting impatient, looking over to make sure of the time. A little bit of mind games going on, maybe. Palmer, take us away.
I think Big Kev just wanted to go back home to watch Corrie on +1, but away we go anyway for heat number 8. Jilks it is that has the lead. Jilks is there. Now what can Howarth do? That was a very bold move there from Howarth, but Howarth gets himself into that second position there with Jake Mulford here in the third place position. Norwich Bladorn's nowhere to be seen, and that was a beautiful hard but fair move from Howarth. This is what the Sheffield boys need. This is what is going to bring them back into the meeting. It's going to close the aggregate gap now to, I don't know, 10, something like that. Bladorn's just about pushed his bike to around the track. I don't quite know why.
I think we might see a bit of fisticuffs after this. He does not look happy.
He's not the happiest of chappies, is he? We love fisticuffs in Speedway, by the way, so if you could, that'd be great. Thanks. One left to go then. What a ride from Dan Gilks. He popped out the start and he was gone. This is a great ride from Jilksy. Kyle Howarth providing good supporting riding there in the second position, and Jake Mulford there in third.
That was hard, but it was absolutely fair from Carl Howarth. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that, and he stood up and he was counted. Norbert Bladorn had a good run on the outside. Carl did what he had to do, and he's leading by example from the front as captain. Bladorn may feel a little bit hard done by. For me, that was absolutely a fair move, and it gets Sheffield into the lead on the night and takes the aggregate score down slightly to just 10 points now.
Yeah, it does. Now, can we have some fisticuffs, please, Norwich? We need some form of entertainment.
For me, there was absolutely nothing wrong with that move.
There was nothing wrong with it. It's just not very happy.
Heat number 8 was a win for the rider in blue, Dan Gilks. Second in red, Carl Howarth. And third in yellow, Jake Mulford. Norbert Bladorn retired from the heat. A big 5-1 to Sheffield puts them ahead on the night now, 25-23, and the aggregate score is 64-74 in Belle Vue's favour. What a gate from Gilksy.
No, that was beautiful, wasn't it?
Carl knew exactly. Nah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing
minimal
wrong with that.
contact at best.
Nothing at all wrong with that. It's
No.
a playoff final, not ballet. Or
What do you mean
semi-final.
it's not ballet?
Yeah, we were all waiting for him to do the tango or something.
You're more in the know with Premiership rules. Someone in the group chat has said Lemon should have put Viewlass in for Blood.
Can't do it. Protected race.
Sorry, so I read it wrong.
Oh, for Bladorn.
For Bladorn, I thought they said Mulford. Sorry, I read it wrong.
I do reckon that Viewlass will take Bladorn's last ride, to be fair. But that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Sheffield, and now you got Chris and Josh Pickering out against Bewley and Viewlass here. This is absolutely vital that Sheffield build on that.
And Sheffield are off them favoured 1 and 3 again.
Who's Pico off 1 this time?
Yeah.
And that gate absolutely just worked for Gilksy. It could be game on. Or we could be sat here in about a minute. Belle Vue have got a 5-1 and it's game off again.
Pretty much. It's going to be one or the other, isn't it?
The lineup of Heat 9 going off the inside gate in blue needs to turn up here. There's no other way to say it. Josh Pickering. Gate 2 in white is Dan Bewley, unbeaten from his 2 rides so far. Gate 3 in red is Chris Holder. Impressive win last time out. And off the outside in yellow. Been a little bit of a pain in the bum for the Tigers so far. Anti-Viewlass.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think anyone saw this performance so far from Anti-Viewlass coming. Yeah, another massive race needed here for Sheffield.
Another 5-1 and all of a sudden this gets very interesting.
It does. And if the ref fancies speeding a 2-minute clock up, that would be great, because some of us want to watch Strictly Come Dancing. It takes 2.
God. Josh Pickering needs to show up here. There's no other way to say it.
He needs to out-trap Dan, and Chris Holder needs to out-trap Dan.
He can't afford to be trapped on the inside of Bewley, that's for sure.
And we kind of need to hope Viewlass doesn't trap.
Gate 4 isn't working great, let's be honest.
It's not the best, is it?
Suddenly got a little bit more interesting though.
It'd be a lot more interesting if this race proves to be a 5-1 to the Tigers.
Just for a neutral to have it a little bit closer, it would be.
So here we go then. Start Marshall Kev walks away then for heat number 9. Tapes rise, away we go. Bewley's made the perfect start as we expected, but Pico up the inside of Bewley there to no, and Bewley back round the outside now, and Bewley's already checked out. He's in Stockport already, and it's going to be a 3-all, barring any form of mechanical failure for Dan Bewley, he says, putting his hands together. Pickering there in second place with Holder there, fending off the challenge of Anti-Viewlass in third. But at the moment, there's no catching Bewley. Pickering's going wide, and he's got time. He's got 2 laps to see if he can make a move on Bewley. And Pickering's getting close now. This is going to be a brilliant last lap of speedway here. Now, Bewley goes wide, Pickering to the inside. It's very, very close between these two. We've got 1 lap left to go. Holder's there safe in 3rd place. Bewley is at the back. What can Pico do now? He looks to come up the inside there. Oh, damn Bewley. Bewley blocks the inside run, so Pico goes round the outside. It's not quite enough. Not quite enough there. Best race of the night.
Very good race that. And Belle Vue now 13 points away. Brilliant ride from Bewley there. Pickering definitely had the more speed, but Sheffield need to be asking questions of both holders, I think, at this point. Belle Vue fans who have slagged Dan Bewley off a fair bit this season are now chanting his name.
Yeah, they are.
Alan McNally in the comments, wonder who that fella is. Hope you're both well. Mom the Tigers. The only Tigers that count. The result of heat number 9 was a win for the rider in white, Dan Bewley. 2nd in blue, Josh Pickering. And 3rd in red, Chris Holder. Massive, massive 5 races coming up now.
Huge. Sheffield can't. They just can't afford 3-3s, even 4-2s.
Jack and Kyle need a 5-1. Jack and Kyle need that 5-1. I'd expect Dan Gilks to probably partner Bomber in 11 in place of Jason Edwards. I'd also expect Bladorn to be replaced by Antivulas. Although it was last there, he was a nuisance in that first lap to help out Dan Bewley after he nearly wiped him out in the first turn.
Yeah, 100%. Someone needs to stop Dan Bewley.
And he's turned up when it matters, isn't he?
Makes a change, right?
Yeah, he does, yeah. He's absolutely turned up when it counts. Pico definitely had more speed there. I think he was in 2 minds whether to push it maybe too hard and risk falling or be a bit more sensible. If ever there's a time for Jack Holder to be the GP superstar he is, this is it.
This is the time.
Carl Ellif's been fantastic. We can't say anything bad about Carl tonight. It's been sublime, and Jack needs to step up now.
Yeah, Kyle's certainly been consistent, to say the least.
3 second place, isn't it?
That it is. Well, at least that's what I get it as.
Yeah, it's 2 seconds and a paid win. The lineup
Good
of number 10 going off the inside gate in blue for the Tigers, Carl Howarth. Gate 2 in yellow. Really disappointed actually so far with Ben Cook. Gate 3 in red, equally disappointed with Jack Holder. And off the outside in white is Jamin Lidsey, who's been solid enough, to be honest.
It is.
The riders we expected to step up in namely the Holder boys, are the 2 at fault at the moment for what this is turning out to be.
Even Pico, I know he's not been brilliant, but
he had a lot more speed there.
He hasn't run a last place.
No, he's been consistently in the points. Jack's not ran a last place, but for a near 9-point average rider, paid 4 he's on now.
Yeah, 2 third places.
It's not good enough, is he?
It's, your number 1 should be good. Number 1 of the calibre of Jack should be going and wee-weeing all over these.
And that was where Leicester had the advantage. Max Frick outdid Jankovic, didn't he?
Don't remind me. So, just waiting for the jam jar to get up to tapes. We don't mind if he gets excluded, honestly. So, the start batch walks away. For Heat 10, it's actually Heat 10 this time. And away we go. Jack Holder's finally turned up, and Howarth now has the lead. Holder around the outside. Now, what can the Aces pair do? What can Kyle Howarth do? Kyle needs to get back up the inside there of Jamin Lidsey. So Holder has the lead. Lidsey there in second. Howarth just about bending off the challenge of Ben Cook there in the 3rd place position. But Jack Holder, it's time he come to the party. And, well, I think the DJ's just about to press play on Finger Boys.
God.
Race has been stopped as Ben Cook is down somewhere.
He stacked it. Thought Carl Howarth had a bit of a lead. That fella gives me vibes of Simon Lambert.
And this man, woman, whatever it is here in the blue check gives me vibes of someone we used to voluntarily work for.
If you had choice, you had the choice of going home or away first in the final, what would you choose? That was from Alan. I'd always go away first, personally. And
You
Ben
want to
Cook is
go away first.
disqualified.
You want to always want to go away first, don't you? And then you want to win it in front of your home fans.
Yeah, 100%. That could be awarded. I don't think Jamon Lindsay was going to get past Jack. That could potentially be an awarded heat.
What was they on?
Third, going into the third. I think the leaders were on their third
Hmm,
lap.
right. Yeah, that could be awarded. Doesn't look like it's going to be, but it could be.
That bog's being pushed off the track.
And if you bothered on trap shops, have got a sale on at Sheffield. So if you're there listening to us, go buy yourself a bargain.
If you were the referee, would you award it or rerun it?
I think I'd have awarded that myself.
The the question the ref has to ask himself is, was Jamon Lindsay going to pass Jack Alder? In my opinion, no. Jamo's taking
No.
his helmet off, so I think it may have been awarded.
All will be confirmed in the not too. Norwich's got his helmet on,
He
so it
retains
looks
his
like
place.
still no update on.
I think it's been awarded because they're cut into an ad break. We'll check on Speedway updates. Should we take a quick minute while they go to an ad break?
Hopefully, Speedway updates can help us out.
live.
We're live.
Yeah, we're live. We're on. We're back from the dead.
Don't know how, but yeah, very.
Not a lot to report at the moment, but sounds like a horrible crash.
I mean, did you see what actually happened? Because I didn't.
No, I saw him chasing Carl Eweth's back wheel, and then the next minute down the straight, I thought Carl Eweth was a little bit too far ahead. Apparently, the crowd did the wah, like it doesn't sound good.
That's not good.
Speedway updates are saying that there's an ambulance on the track. Which you
There's a what? Sorry, much?
There's an ambulance out on the track, which obviously you never want to hear. As Discovery come back, there is definitely concern around that area.
Oh, there is 100%.
Ambulance is just reversing off now. Abby's gonna speak. Do you want to put a bit of volume on your side, and we'll and see if you can see what Abby's.
If you can mute us up, Mush, I'll do that now.
You're muted, Mush. And just as I muted Palmer up, he comes round and says that Carl Eweth was approached by Abby for an interview and refused. Obviously, riders are generally quiet when one of the other riders are down and hurt. It does not sound good though. Scotty's up where the accident happened.
Again, it's another thing.
You can see the ambulance in the background, to be fair. The tractor is up there doing some work. You made a good point whilst we were off air just now. This impacts Poole as well.
Massively.
And Ben's had a really good season. Tough night, but a very good season. So let's hope it's nothing too serious.
Hope it isn't, because he's a genuinely nice enough lad as well, and he is he's one of them riders you could just watch all day.
Entertaining, isn't he?
So, 100%, and he is one of them riders. If I'm at a meeting and he's in it, and like none of my team are, he's one of them you just sort of like turn to support, because you're going to get entertainment with him. So yeah, fingers crossed for Ben.
The ambulance has gone off the track. Referees got to decide whether he's going to rerun it. Abby's doing some talking. Do you want to see if you can listen into what she's saying? Have you got it unmuted?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't.
She's trying to get someone to have a chat.
We can't hear it on the stream, so I won't mute us up.
Sweet.
Yeah, riders are obviously more concerned about Ben at the moment, as you were obviously would be. It's a tense moment.
It is. Right, I'm bored of you, Kelvin. You can shut up. It's one of them as well. Obviously, there's a fallen rider on the track who, let's be honest, all these boys between themselves are all mates as it is. So obviously,
especially
you're concerned for your mate, but it's a playoff semi-final as well, and tensions are high, and in the Sheffield camp, tensions are massive at the moment. So I can understand why the riders would sort of like respectfully refuse an interview at this time.
There has been an update on updates. A texter from the track has said Ben Cook was in third, So he had passed Carl Howarth, and either it grip or his chain had shed, and he just stopped really quickly and high-sided.
Oh,
So it could be head, neck, back, could be collarbone, it could be anything really if it's a high side and a quick stop as well.
apologies, I was just replying to the goat that is Simon Lambert.
And
Just sending me a message.
obviously we hope that Ben will be alright. Don't really a lot we can
We
say
do.
at the moment.
And yet we're not doing a lot of talking, and yet we're sprouting out less crap than Kelvin and Mr. Oliver Allen.
It's a difficult
Even
gig, but
in these sort of times, you know, you sort of have to see some light somehow. And but yeah, it's as you mentioned, no commentary is a very very tough gig, especially commentating on your own is a tough gig.
which is why we don't do it.
Exactly. You see, we have brains.
No,
Well,
don't you
well,
even say that.
we have a Percy pig in our head that looks like a brain.
And if this is rerun, opportunity for Jamin Lindsay to out trap Jack Holder. Jack had made the perfect first turn and got off for the fresh air, which he's been chasing all night. To be fair,
Another thing, actually, just mentioned in a group chat here. If obviously the ambulance and Ben Cook are going to be some time, the curfew will come into play, which I believe is 10 o'clock here.
do you want to have a listen to what Lemo's saying? See if we can see what's wrong.
There's no update on Ben doing the precautionary checks. Are they really human, Mark? I wouldn't have guessed. They look like gorillas.
Gone to Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Santiview Last Mechanic, his brother or something. He looks identical to him.
I believe it's his brother.
Oh, okay, that's it. That explains it. They look so alike.
So, the interview with Abby and Matt Lemon just basically confirmed that there's no update on Ben Cook. Zach's with Ben at the moment in the ambulance, and they're just doing all the precautionary checks as they have to do before deciding if he needs to go up to hospital.
They're going to show the accident now. No, they're not. They're going to show Bewley.
I'm gonna say that's Bewley, not Ben. They both start with a B, so I'll give you that. Have we got any more comments?
Alan, no, nothing from Alan either. Alan's let the side down. Alan was keeping us chatting in the old comment section.
Oh, come on, Al, mate.
Pico was definitely quicker in that one. He was chasing back wheels there, weren't he?
Oh, he was.
The track almost looks like it's not got enough material on for the Sheffield boys. They don't look used to it.
I mean, Sheffield normally isn't slick. You know, you've normally got a decent amount of material on there, but you look at this track and it looks
bald.
I can't believe I'm saying it almost looks like a scunny.
There's not a lot, is there, on new sponsors backboards for the playoffs, or they've just updated the other one of the two.
Yeah, nice to see Martin Hunter doing all the designing work for it, and Shout out Martin Hunter. Good bloke.
Eurosport have gone on another ad break. Shall we take one?
Yeah, I think we ought to. Right, we're back and looks like we're about to go racing again. That is Seth Norman's dad on the spanners for Jack Alder tonight. So big up my boy, my mate Steve. Um, and naturally, before we go for the rerun of Heat 10, it has to be put on record. We send our very best wishes to Ben Cook, who is an absolutely entertaining rider.
And a very nice fellow, actually.
He is.
And
He is.
how as a rider, how do you switch your mentality back on to race mode after that?
It's hard enough, sort of like as a supporter, when you've seen a horrible, horrible accident.
That's it, yeah.
It, it's hard to sort of like get back into it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Ben Cook has been disqualified. It'll be rerun with Carho off blue in gate 1, No Rider gate 2, Jack Alder gate 3 in red, and Jamin Lindsay off the outside in white, the sole Aces representative.
But it is, yeah.
Advantage Sheffield on paper, but JMO was all over Jack Alder in that first running, so Jack needs to make it again. And any other night you'd probably say absolutely fine, but he's not been at the races tonight, has he really?
He's not had the best of meetings tonight, has he? That he looks very, very nervous.
He looks concerned. And I would be as well, only 2 up on the night.
So anyway, the start marshal walked away for heat number 10. Tapes rise, away we go. Kyle Howarth and Josh Bickery, that's Jack Alder who's got there. And now, what can Jamjar do? He's all over the back above these Sheffield Tigers. This race is not over till Minan starts singing. But Kyle Howarth then has the lead with Jack Alder there in the second position. This is what the Tigers needed, but Lindsay's looking to come up strong up the inside there of Holder. Holder just blocks the line perfectly now. Holder to the outside, Jamjar to the inside, or Damon Lindsay if you don't know what his nickname is. Anyway, going to the third lap. Kyle Howarth leading like an absolute true captain here and doing a really, really good job. Holder's just about settled there now in the second position. Lids is there in third, and this is going to cut that deficit of the Belle Vue Aces to less than 10 because I can't do maths on the spot.
6.
What Dill said, 6. But yeah, massive 5-1 here for the Tigers, and they needed that. Blue, red, white.
That was absolutely fantastic from Jack Alder. He saw exactly what he was going to do straight from the off and got his bike to the right hand side off the start line to send Jamon Lindsay wider. JMO tried to cut back, but Carr was on the outside. Jack cut it back to the inside and blocked any opportunity for JMO there, and that was all she wrote. And a brilliant 5-1 for the Tigers. It's a shame about what happened to Ben Cook in the initial staging. There could have been an argument to have awarded it as a 4-2 at the positions they were in at the time. The ref decided to rerun it, and Belle Vue ultimately lose out in the rerun. And Carlo have gone round to G up the fans, and Sheffield have now sliced the aggregate lead in half.
They have.
The result of heat number 10 was a win for the rider in blue, Carl Howarth, second in red, Jack Alder, and third in white, Jamin Lindsay. As to be said, didn't look very quick there.
He didn't at all.
That was perfect from Jack, cut straight across JMO's line, knew exactly what he had to do. Carl was gone, Jack cut it back, and that was all she wrote. Perfect.
100% can't disagree with you there, me all through.
And we've given Carl Howarth a little bit of stick in there, particularly the first leg. He's absolutely led by example tonight. There's no two ways about it.
No, 100%. You know, he's certainly played a true captain's role tonight, and you know, but obviously in this league, obviously this is where his night ends.
Yeah.
But he's just giving some advice to Jason Edwards, who, you know, if he can get the better of Norik Bodon, then he's done his job in this one.
Pico's playing cheerleader for Bomber there.
The Bomber's off gate 2 here, and he needs to come to the party as the Aces go back off to the favoured gates.
Absolute pressure on Bomber here with all due to respect to Jace. You'd expect maybe the Belle Vue pairing have got the better of him. You need Bomber to win this. ideally for Sheffield. The lineup of heat number 11 going off inside gate in white is Brady Kurtz, gate 2 in red Chris Harris, gate 3 in yellow Noah Bladorn, and off the outside in blue Jason Edwards. Bladorn did look a lot more competitive in heat number 8, but got the heave-ho from Carl Howarth.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, Bladorn off 3 as well. It has been a decent gate tonight so far. Yeah, Chris Harris really needs a big win here.
And obviously with that incident for Ben Cook, riders are going to be just a little bit more cautious about going so wide now. They were doing track work to bring the dirt line down a little bit. So essentially Bomber's favourite line is maybe not quite there now.
It's not there anymore, is it?
Norwich will be absolutely fired up after that heave-ho from Howarth.
Things are going to start to get a bit tasty, I feel.
This is where nerves kick in, and this is where winners stand up, and Brady Kurtz will be fired up after his last one as well. Palmer, take us away, son.
Apes rise then for heat number 10, and it's Chris Harris that gets to that first turn first, and Edwards going wide now. Can he get around the outside of Bladorn? Not quite. Now, what can Jason Edwards do? Brady Kurtz is there in second, Bladorn in third with Edwards towards the back. Chris Harris using the outside line here to keep in front of Brady Kurtz. Now Kurtz looks to go up to the inside. Not quite there yet, so Chris Harris now is extending his lead over Brady Kurtz. This is the Chris Harris that needed to come to the party. Unfortunately, though, they need Jason Edwards to also arrive at this party, and he's not there. As we go into the third lap, and that was a beautiful sight there of an empty track, as Chris Harris has the helmet cam on there. As just look at that empty track. It's lovely. Chris Harris is checked out. He's away. He's gone. He could go get himself 2 hot dogs and chips. The gap's closing between Edwards and Bladorn for third, but it's too little too late now for him, barring a mechanical failure, but that's a 3-3.
That's Jason Edwards not done, and let's be honest, he's been disappointing. There's no other way to say it. He's been
not
poor.
Been the best,
he's been poor. Really, really poor. Brilliant ride for Bomber though, did exactly what he needed to, trapped Brady to the inside, got straight up to the outside line, had the speed, and that was all she wrote for that. And I wouldn't expect to see Jason Edwards again in Heat 14, to be honest.
No.
The result of Heat number 11 was a win for the rider in red, Chris Harris, second in white, Brady Kurtz, and third in yellow, Norwich Bladorn. Belle Vue will be happy with that because they're packed in the places. It still maintains their 6-point lead and puts them 9 points away from that magical number 90. Edwards was there, he just needed to get a little bit wider and he'd have been straight around them, I think.
Yeah, 100%. But obviously, again, with obviously what happened earlier,
you can understand.
Probably been a little bit too cautious.
Yeah, he's been a disappointment in both the legs. He was no good on Monday either, to be honest.
No, I agree.
Bomber's looking for him there and straight gets his head down and clears off. Brady's got speed, but Bomber does what Bomber does on that outside line.
And I do genuinely fear for Sheffield in Heat 13.
It depends. It depends how Jack traps. He looked better in the last one. So Bomber's got a smile on his face. He probably knows he'll get the guest booking for Poole if Ben Cook can't ride next week, especially at Oxford.
He just knows he's made enough money to have a Mackies on the way home. Another ad break.
Oh my god, it's not as if we've just had a big long delay, is it, Eurosport? You'll be happier there. I think Belle Vue will be happy with that because it's stopped the rot.
Yeah. Yeah, it has. Belle Vue will be the happier of the two teams in that one. Sheffield need 5-1s now.
Heat 12, Chris Holder and Dan Gilks, Lindsay and Vulas. And Jake Morford's still got to have his last ride, which he will have in Heat 14, because obviously Ben Cook won't be able to take his place, so that'll be
Well,
Anti-Vuelas in there
do,
for him.
do you put Mulford out in 12 and serve Vue last for 14?
If Ben Cook can't take his ride, it'll be IRR probably, won't it? But it can only be any below
Yeah.
Ben Cook. What's Ben Cook's average? And who's the one below him?
686. Anti-Vuelas.
Or Norwich Blador?
No, it ain't. It's Warwick. Sorry, I looked at the wrong average.
Neither of them, I'd probably put Vuelas in, to be honest, over Blador. But it will be a weaker rider than Ben Cook in 14 now if he's withdrawn, so
Mm.
potentially an opportunity. I'd expect
100%.
to see Gilksy in for Sheffield in blue.
So
More
would
of
I.
that needed from Jack Alday. Heat 12 and 13, anything other than heat advantages for Sheffield, and it's over.
It is.
5-1 in Heat 12 would make it interesting, that's for sure.
It certainly would.
And Carl Ewerth, as we've already said, has definitely stepped up as skipper tonight. Disappointing on Monday, he'll be the first to admit that, but he's definitely stepped up here tonight and getting the crowd behind the fans, because obviously with a crash like that, the mood will drop, so you have to try
100%.
and G him up again.
Someone's just said in a group chat, playoff Harris at pole is better than Smarslick. I can't disagree.
On British tracks he is, because Bartek cannot ride them for love nor money.
Oh, poo.
What?
If what I've been told is true, this isn't it isn't very good news at all.
For what?
Ben Cook.
Oh, what? Hang on, we'll mute up.
And we're back after some slightly concerning news.
Let's hope that what was filtered through wasn't true, eh?
Wasn't, hopefully. Riders was being pushed off, but they've been told to come back now by the looks of things, and Chris Harris hides under the camera. Jokesy getting a smack on the ass from his dad. What a boy. Pick up Peter.
Calvin wants a superheat, apparently. Nobody cares what Calvin
Does
wants.
he really? How very
Very
exciting.
exciting. The lineup of heat number 12 going off the inside gate in yellow for the Aces is Antivulas, gate 2 in red Chris Holder, gate 3 in white Jamin Lidsey, and off the outside in blue is Dan Gilks. I had to check my programme then.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And yeah, again another massive heat coming up here for Sheffield. A 5-1 would make it ever so tasty now going into the last few
5-1 puts
weeks.
2 points in it. Belle Vue fans are consigned to the fact this could potentially be a 5-1 to Sheffield here, and potentially 14 with both the reserves having to go in.
I don't know about. I could definitely see this one being a 4-2.
And Antivulas has made a nuisance of himself tonight, though, to be fair.
He's been decent tonight, so don't write the aces off yet. Please
But
write the aces
obviously,
off.
whoever goes through this, the overriding 40s for Ben Cook.
Yeah, 100%. You know, not in. If it was a normal league match, you'd just say results don't matter, but this result kind of does. But it is a whatever the outcome is, it's overshadowed by Cookie's incident, and riders quite clearly they've been very cautious going into turns one, where it's the Belle Vue boys that hit the lead on a 5-1. It's Jamjar Lidsey out there in front. Chris Alder's putting a challenge in on Antivulas there in second. Dan Jilks is there at the back, but this will all but seal Belle Vue's place in the final here. There's Jamin Lidsey about to make himself a cult hero with the Belle Vue fans. As we go into the third lap, Jamin Lidsey, he's gone up to Rotherham. I hope it looks nice for him, I really do. As the big battle for second is still on now. Holden now looks to come up the inside there of Antivulas. Oh, lovely move there for Chris Holder. So it's a 4-2 now to the Aces. Vulas is not going to give up to the checker flag. We've only got a couple of beds left to go, and it's going to be a big 4-2 to Belle Vue. And well, that was anticlimactic.
Chris Holder, I'll say it again, has been absolutely abysmal tonight. And that's almost there. Any form of heat advantage in Heat 13 for Belle Vue, and they are through.
They are. And it's like I said earlier, I fear for Sheffield in Heat 13.
The result of heat number 12, it was a win for the rider in white, Jamin Lidsey. Second in red, Chris Holder, and third in yellow, Antivulas. Dan Gilks missed out from gate 4. Antivulas again making a nuisance of himself and doing a solid job. Chris Holder went absolutely
100%.
nowhere.
He didn't. And I think you could just see there as well in turns 1 and 2, riders have been extra cautious. Which is obviously understandable.
Yeah. After heat 13, we'll bring Alan in to do the last couple of heats with you, and I'll tag out.
No problem, sir.
Good pass by Noddy, but if Vulas had dropped it there, that could have been interesting.
Very much so.
And that was a desperate move. He knows he's not been any good tonight. That was desperate.
It was. But
what a heat this will be.
Sheffield are off the favoured 1 and 3.
If ever there's a time to make yourself a hero, this is it.
Now is that time.
And crucially as well, Sheffield will have the choice in 15 if it comes down to that, of gates.
100%. Bewley on a maximum as well, and Kurtz hasn't finished below second.
The lineup for Heat 13 going off the inside gate in red, Jack Holder. Gate 2 in white, Brady Kurtz. Gate 3 in blue is Chris Harris, and off the outside in yellow, the maximum man so far, Dan Bewley. 5-1
Yeah.
to Belle Vue here, and it's all over. 4-2, and Sheffield need 2-5-0s to go through an aggregate.
Oh, Callum Steele, if you're watching, you hero.
What?
He's removed James Jessup from the big group.
And this will be the last one for me for tonight until probably Monday. Alan will take over after this one because he's come back from Boys Brigade very much alive.
That he has. Yeah, I can't imagine the pressure on Chris Alder and Jack Alder and Chris Harris at the minute.
Someone going through the tapes here, you reckon?
I mean, with the way things have been going so far tonight, probably Bewley.
Gate 4 has gone off a little bit. It was bad then for Gilksy.
It was terrible, wasn't it?
5-1 or bust for Sheffield. Let's see which way this goes.
Pretty much quiet. Oh, you Bewls, we haven't got all night much. We missed Strictly Come Dancing for this. So, Start Marshall walks away then for heat number 13. Jack Alder's made it. Now, what could Bomber do as he comes up the inside there? It's neck and neck with Holder and Kurtz up the front. Bewley's at the back. And it's a free all heat well, it's not a heat advantage really, is it? But in a Belle Vue perspective, this is virtually a heat advantage. Where the bloody hell is Jack Alder going there? Jesus Christ, if you could please just stay on the bikes, that would be great, please and thanks. The two Sheffield boys now in second and third, they're virtually racing against each other at this point. But yeah, this all but seals it up now, done it for Belle Vue with one lap left to go. Nobody's catching Brady Kurtz like that now, and Dan Bewley's there. He's in last place. And let's be realistic, they only need 2 race points now to get through to that final.
Jack Alder did everything he could possibly do on that first turn, and Kurtz just was not giving it up. And 2-5-1s will send us to a super heat. Anything else other than 2 Sheffield 5-1s, and it's game over.
That it is. And can you see 2 Sheffield 5-1s?
Potentially in 14, possibly. I don't see one in 15, I'll be honest. Jack Alder gave it everything there. He tried to put Brady Kurtz wide, and Kurtz just kept it out on and kept it brave. The result of heat 13 was a win for the rider in white, Brady Kurtz. Second in blue, Chris Harris. And third in red, Jack Alder. 3 apiece. Aggregate score is 80 points to Sheffield, 88 to Belle Vue. And this is the point where I'm going to bid you fellas adieu and welcome in Alan for the last 2.
Can you hear me?
That it is. Sweet. In a bit, mate. So, yeah. Big heat 14 coming up, Mr. Al.
Absolutely. If Sheffield really need a 5-1. It's 5-1 or bust at this stage. They don't get the 5-1, they're kind of gone.
That's it. Obviously the Aces need 2 race points to be
even if they
there,
get the 5-1 in heat 14, realistically,
2 5-1s.
Yeah, if they get the heat 5-1 and 14, realistically in 15 it's going to be a struggle for Sheffield to get it, given the form of Kurtz and Bewley. It's doable, but they'd have to be on their game.
They do. They really, really do. And Jason Edwards retains his place, so that's congratulations to Belle Vue, who's in the anti-view lasses in white.
So the lineup for heat number 14 in the white helmet colour of gate number 1 is Antti Vulas. Gate 2 in the blue helmet colour is Jason Edwards. Gate 3 in the yellow helmet colour is Jake Mulford. And off the outside in the red helmet colour, Josh Pickering.
There it is. Thanks, Al.
No problem.
Oh, who's adding me back on Snapchat? Hello. Sorry, I forgot I was live for a second there. I do sincerely apologise.
You kind of have to hope Jason Edwards comes to the party here.
He needs to come to the party. There's no point in being stuck in Rotherham if Sheffield are going to make this through. If Sheffield are going to do...
On you go.
Go on.
I was just about to say, I'm surprised they haven't put Jilks in this one.
So am I. I had him written down in my programme.
Not sure what Simon Stead's playing at, but he's clearly got faith in Jason Edwards.
He looks like a very worried, very old man. So, Start Marshall are bringing the boys into line. Huge pressure on the Sheffield Tigers for this race. Like, huge pressure. As Brady Kurtz looks along with Matt Lamont.
Mr. Pickering, and get to the start tapes, please.
Come on, Pico, mate. I want to get Drucker come dancing on iPlayer. So, Start Marshall walks away now then for heat number 14. Away we go. And it's a very good start there from the outside gate there from Pickering. Pickering almost made it. He's good around the outside of Ulas. What a ride from Josh Pickering there. But the sad thing is, for the Sheffield Tigers, Jason Edwards is in the third place. He needs to get past Antti Vulas in second. But the thing is, Vulas is putting pressure on Pickering out in front. So this will all but seal the Belle Vue Aces spot in the grand final next week. Pickering clearly trying to slow the race down here for Jason Edwards. It's not quite working out because Jason Edwards is still stuck in Rotherham. He goes wide now, does Edwards? Is he closing in? He's closing in on Vulas here. Jason Edwards has got one lap to be a hero and keep the Tigers in this. And it's a big lap ahead. Now, what can Edwards do? He goes back round the outside. He's drifted away. This is it. Vulas is going to be the hero for the Belle Vue Aces, as it is Josh Pickering that takes the win there. But it's the Aces that get through to the final thanks to that second place from Antti Vulas.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing from Jason Edwards there. Could see the Aces fans going absolutely mental in the stand at the end of that race. But
and
fair
James
play to Josh
Jessup
Pickering.
Still look miserable.
He does. Well, that's fair.
Yeah, no, it is. That's why I said it.
We'll get the result. So the result of heat number 14 was a win for the rider in the red helmet, Josh Pickering. Second place, the rider in white, Antti Vulas, with Jason Edwards in third place. That 4-2 to the Aces makes the scores 45 to the Tigers, 39 to the Aces, with the score 84 to the Tigers, 90 points to the Aces, and secures their place in the final. And I've just seen Phil Mullard on the telly.
This gives me throwback to the
to last night.
No, the 2022 final that I went to. It was Sheffield versus Belle Vue, ironically, and I believe this was the exact same scoreline after Heat 14. It's basically been a repeat. But yeah, Jason Edwards tried absolutely everything there. You cannot discredit him at all, and had he turned up to this party a little bit earlier, it could have been a completely different story for Belle Vue.
For shit, yeah, true. It would also be a different story for Sheffield. They might actually still be in the battle for the place going into Heat 15.
But you know, it's been one of them meetings. It's certainly not been the best.
You know, he went from a sour lemon to an absolutely cacking himself
Oh
lemon.
my God, he's happy. He's smiling.
He'll
Run!
be
Stop the world!
stop the world, Simon. Simon, Mark Lemon is happy. There it is, Harry Potter.
Oh, get yourself to the final. You can have a hug off Phil Morris.
It's kind of bad that Phil Morris is celebrating with Belle Vue and then is just kind of
I
completely
don't think
no.
he was. I don't think he was celebrating. I think he was just congratulating Belle Vue getting through.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that.
So he should. Um.
And we have another break.
Yeah, we do. Uh,
So if you were the two managers right now, who would you put in 15?
for Bell, well, it doesn't really matter for Belle Vue who you put in because the job's done. But you can't look past. You can't look past Kurtz and Bewley, can you?
Lindsay? Could
Yeah,
put Lindsay in.
argument out for Lindsay as well. But for Sheffield, you could go Howarth, you could go Older Pickering, Howarth Pickering, Harris
Chris
Pickering.
Harris.
I knew you'd mention Chris Harris.
Or does Simon instead just go one bit more mental and just go, sod it, we've lost now, let's just put the two reserves in?
You still want to win on the night, I think. I think if I remember right, the final score in that playoff final was 50-40 to Sheffield when they're coming on a 39-51 deficit. But yeah, it's congratulations to the Aces anyway, and we will be doing a watch along to both legs of the final next week. And we'll ask the question to you, Al, like you asked us.
Yeah.
Are you still alive? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still alive.
Oh, good. So if you was Mark Lemon, which obviously you're not because you've got a few extra pounds on you, would you be wanting the first leg at home or the first leg away?
I would go. Ooh. Yeah, I'd go away first, because then at least if you can get a small enough deficit away, or even a lead away, and then you win the trophy, at least you can win it in front of your home fans.
Mm.
But on the other hand, do you play it at home and get as big enough a lead like Scunthorpe had to do, or in their case didn't manage to do, and then have
Thanks,
to
Al. I'd just about forgotten about that. I'm going to cry
uh,
now.
and then have to fight? Oh, it won't be choices. I think Belle Vue will have to go home as the race day is Monday and Leicester is Thursday. Fair enough.
Fair enough. So we're
I
all
won't read out
we're
the
all.
first bit of what he said there, but about
Did
a
he
certain
say?
Mr. Edwards.
Did he say a naughty naughty?
He said too naughty naughty.
Two naughty naughties. Not that's not very good.
No.
So we've got one more race left to go, and then we can all go back to bed. Tigers naturally will be disappointed for tonight. They tried, but they just didn't get off to a good enough start, and unfortunately, that is what has cost them the playoff final.
Yeah. It has indeed. At least you won't have to travel any tracks to watch the Speedway anymore, Palmer, for this season.
Still got Scotty tomorrow, Booker.
Well, okay. I mean more of the playoff Speedway.
Don't know what you're on about. We want the BSN series. We're not bothered about the league. The BSN
Just like last
series
year,
is
you
where...
wanted the Knockout Cup because you weren't bothered about the league.
Yeah, exactly. Steady progression. Knockout Cup to the BSN series. We'll get the league next year as well. Just we'll beat Glasgow in the final for that. I'll try see if I can find who's going in 15. A very, very clearly emotional Simon Stead having an interview with Scott Nichols at the minute.
Just gonna see if I can lip read.
I've got volume on minimal, so I'll when they announce the choices for 15, I will just tell you.
Go for it. Let's see if I can get it though by lip reading.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Paco and Bomber. Paco off gate 1 in red and Bomber off gate 3 in blue.
Thanks, Al. I couldn't hear that.
You couldn't hear it.
No, because you was talking.
I can lip read. Simon Stead. Mark Lemon is cacking himself.
Do you really work all year, Mark? How very excited for you. Try working all 12 months of the year, Mush. Who's sending me dodgy messages now?
Your nan's finally decided to sing.
Oh yeah, she's gone to the karaoke.
Did you get who was in white and yellow?
I got white, I didn't get yellow.
To be fair, we got talking that much. When I looked back, it was finished. I was like, oh well, I missed yellow.
Oh, you
I'll guess it's
willy
Dan
head.
Bewley. Well, who have you got in white, and then we can roughly guess who's in yellow.
Oh, Jamin Lidsley's in white. Don't know who's in yellow.
Right, Kelv, hurry up. Stop talking.
Oh, when you're ready, Cal. Mush, when you're ready, mate.
Is it yellow? Did you say you needed? Number 5.
Bewley.
Bewley. So the lineup for heat number 15. In red, off gate number 1 for the Sheffield Tigers is Josh Pickering. In white, gate 2 for the Belle Vue Aces is Jamin Lidsey. Gate 3 in blue for the Sheffield Tigers, their guest Chris Harris, and off the outside in yellow, gate 4 for the Belle Vue Aces is Daniel Bewley.
Is it really?
No. And for the final tight tonight, taking you through the comms is Daniel Palmer.
So yeah,
When he decides to get off his phone.
What's up, Alan?
So when you decide to get off the phone.
Well, unfortunately, Alan, I have friends who text me. I know it's difficult because you don't experience that, but you know, it happens. So Matt Lemon nervously watching on. Yes, it does, Alan. How very excited for you to understand this. predicament of life. Anyway, this is Shoot Some Shell. This isn't the Alan McNally show. And yeah. So does Gerber Lidsley comes up to tapes, and then Bomber Harris follows through. Just waiting for the inside gate and the outside gate to come to the party. Start Marshall then walks away for heat number 15, and away they go. Pickering's made a beautiful start there off gate number 1, and Chris Harris has just about joined him there for second, and this is going to be an exact replica of the 2022 final, and it's going to be an 89-91 aggregate score. Pickle is the that's out in front. Chris Harris there in second. Pretty much untroubled, to be fair, from the looks of the beautiful view of the back of Josh Pickering that we have. Oh, we've gone to actually see the 4 riders on the track now. What a great initiative, Eurosport. You should do that more often. But yeah, Pico still has the lead. Chris Harris is second. Bewley's there in third. And Jam Jar's at the back. And this is virtually all she wrote now, barring any form of mechanical failure. Pico going really, really wide there. If he went any rider, he'd end up in Rotherham. But it's going to be a last heat 5-1 to the Sheffield Tigers, which makes the final score 50-40, 89-91 on aggregate. I'll just tot up some scores. Read the scores out, then we'll wrap up. I've got to figure him out first. He got 5.
So the result of Heat 15 was a win for the rider in red, Josh Pickering. Second place was Chris Harris in blue, and Dan Bewley third in yellow, with Jamin Lidsley in white at the back. That 5-1 makes the final scores 50 to the Sheffield Tigers, 40 to the Belle Vue Aces, and 89 to Sheffield, 91 to Belle Vue on aggregate. And just the Belle Vue boys popping some really good wheelies on the home
That's
straight
my line,
there.
Alan. That's my line, Alan. If you say that again, I am going to hit you on the head with a scaffold pole. So individual scorers then for Sheffield: Jack Holder 5-4, Kyle Howarth 9-1, Chris Holder 6-1, Josh Pickering 11, Chris Harris 12-1, Jason Edwards 2-1, Dan Gilks 5. For Belle Vue, Brady Kurtz 10, Norwick Bladon 1 and a bonus, Jamin Lidsley 9, Ben Cook 2-1, best wishes. Dan Bewley 10, Antti Vulas 7, Jake Mulford 1. So from me, Al, and Dylan, thank you for joining us tonight. We will see you on Monday for the first leg of the grand final. Good night.